the titles again.
But it doesn't matter.
Time.
It's like I'm here, so it has to be extra special.
No, the fact it showed up happy hour and it said get basic. And it was like, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen's Horst.
As if I'm not the most basic happy hour there is.
Oh wow, that was so quick. I understand why Laura wanted to go home. She was closer to the Wi-Fi.
Oh,
yeah, so Laura's watching from home, which is about 100 meters that way, in the warmth. But she was on it as well.
Yeah.
But Justin takes it back again. He was in tears earlier today, but Justin, we got something fun coming out to you, mate. Guys, welcome back, episode 52. 52, man.
52?
Yeah.
When was I here last? In the 30s, I think.
Maybe in the 30s. Well, you were here for my 30th.
Oh, well,
was my 30th on 30? That would have worked out really well.
It would have, but I don't think it was.
I don't think it was.
No.
But guys, welcome back. Hope you're well. First question is, of course, what are you drinking at home? If you're drinking, it is Monday. You're allowed to be on anything that you wish, anything that you desire. But what's that behind Stephen, Brendo? You will need to keep guessing. I think there's something green over in the corner that she's just referring to there.
Sorry.
And of course, how was your weekend? How was your Monday? We had a really productive Monday, actually, didn't we not? It was a fun,
massive Monday.
It was a big Monday. Bowel Mondays.
Just another manic Monday.
It was not just another manic Monday, but it was a manic Monday. But just not per usual. How about you, Richard? How are you? Were you good? Yeah.
Richard smashing cheese.
Sorry.
Hitting the road doing personal deliveries of drinks.
Doing personal deliveries of drinks. That's how much we care about you guys. But guys, welcome back. First and foremost, you've got a beer, but would you like some wine? We're gonna have wine in glasses. I think we've got a wine show. Shall we open up something a fresh?
Sounds good.
Or should we just dive straight in? Straight in. Maybe we should just dive straight in. You've brought a wine?
I have brought a wine.
Let's
of course
do it.
I brought a wine.
Oh man, I love it when it goes at this pace. So we are jumping straight into everyone's favourite sport. It is blind tasting. Stephen was kind enough to I mean, it's also blind pouring as well.
Well, we know
I really set you up really well for a right-hander as well. I'm sorry, Noah. He's done really well.
I tried to hide the colour from you as much as possible. But
Yeah, no, that was. We're gonna have to pre-pour at some point, I think, and fake it.
I think what we'll do, we'll actually have the black glasses away, and the black glasses can be handed to us. I reckon that is a much. See, we streamlined. It's only taken us 53 days to be able to find.
It just takes me coming on to humiliate you to finally get things done.
That's normal. You know, life is normal. Life is normal. How was your Monday?
My Monday was it was alright actually.
You did you did one of the most fun things. Oh man, should we get some? Oh, Richard, there's a basket just at the end of the bar.
Yes, I went and had solo fun and not the way you're thinking.
How insane!
Yeah.
How insane! You did something that I'm very jealous about because I've not done this before. Have you guys done this? Yeah. Look at this!
I may have rocked out at Kaipo today. So
oh my god!
A gorgeous little.
Look at this.
Little pines.
Dude. Yum!
There's even a couple of little babies in.
Someone is going to be having a wonderful breakfast tomorrow. There's going to be some butter, some garlic.
Whoever it is, please invite me.
These are so good.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
Were these all that you got? I mean, I'm not like all that you got. But
I only got pines.
Is this the full sampling?
I didn't want slippery jacks or anything like that. There were some beautiful, not that you'd harvest them, but beautiful fly agarics with the lovely red dome, almost like the whole fairy ring that you expect. So that was beautiful, but so peaceful, such a peaceful way to start a Monday. Because I have one day, you call it a day off because the shops are shut, but you're still running around doing stuff. But today, because you'd invited me up here, I'm gonna take the morning for myself, and I was supposed to go with someone, they couldn't make it, so I just went up to Kaipo on my own. And
had just a
went
wonderful,
walking.
peaceful experience.
It was so chilled out, I needed it. It made me realise I don't have a soul to chill out.
It's actually really interesting because like where I grew up, mushrooming wasn't, and look, correct me if I'm wrong, I grew up in Queensland, and like suburban Brisbane, and we never would go out because it's pretty much like it was, the rumours were rife about basically every mushroom that grows around there can kill you. Now I don't know enough about it, but in South Australia every single year.
Yep.
It is a huge thing.
It's a massive thing. So for me, paranoid Floyd, like to the maximum level. I had to go and visit my mate who's like a really high class chef and say, "Are these edible? Have I just picked a whole stack
I would be so worried because like,
No,
I mean, there's not many things you can confuse. These are saffron milk caps or pine mushrooms.
Yeah. So, but it's like, but there's also a wonderful Facebook page, South Australian Mushroom Foragers.
Yes.
You can take a photo of anything, tear it in half, cut it, put it up, and people, like professionals, like people who really know their mycology, will tell you if it's edible or not. Yeah, it's not like in the past, because I went to drop some off to Mum and she's like, I don't know if I can eat these, and I'm like, Mum, it's cool. I've had someone look at them, and if you're not fully comfortable, take a photo, put it on the Facebook page.
I assume some of these are coming home with me.
Oh hell yes, that's why.
It's not for show and tell. It's
no.
You're not getting it.
Yeah, I'm not eating.
But I mean, like, I feel very good that if you were willing to give this to your mum a day after Mother's Day, that'll be fine for me to eat.
Yeah.
We might not have an episode 53 though.
Well, according to my mum, some mushrooms take 2 weeks to kick in, so we might easily get to 60 before we drop.
That's right. Are you guys smoking the reefer? No, not exactly. That would be illegal, George. But if only we're in California. Was drinking your limoncello last night. First taste. Oh my god, yum! Thank you. No, thank you, Jackie. That's no, it is. We take limoncello like a lot more seriously than a lot of other people. Limoncello was actually the first thing that we released, like first spirit that we released under everything that we did with spirits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, parents made them, made limoncello at home. And recently we actually just made our recipe completely transparent.
Oh, as in available?
Yeah, so people can just go.
I thought, what, you got rid of the yellow out of the limoncello?
No. So suddenly we have like a colour or something.
Yeah, that's right.
No, we had.
That's amazing.
We made these like we call them Unico Cello Not Yet. Unico Not Yet Cello.
Oh, you released the I saw the that's
little
phenomenal.
Boxes. And we bottled like 400 little sets up. And people went crazy.
Yeah, well,
people
don't. When you've spent so long at work with no spare time, you forget how much you actually enjoy getting your hands into it.
Yeah, I was utterly surprised, very humbled, but the problem is it's actually really hard stuff to, it's actually surprisingly difficult to make a deconstructed pack.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And actually, especially when it comes to sending lemons into state, there's like a bunch of rules you have to jump through. We have to do that appropriately. But yeah, I mean, the amount of inquiries of people that want to buy those packs, and we're just like, we only made a set amount. We
didn't realise, we're sorry.
No, and then I realised making make your own limoncello pack at home is basically the spiritus equivalent of IKEA.
Oh,
we are basically like IKEA. It's like, we're gonna give you the spirit, we're gonna give you the recipe, we're gonna give you the lemons, you supply a Tupperware container and Allen key, and you can fix like everything with it.
But at least it's not like those arsehole cafes where you go and get a deconstructed, smashed avocado, and you get basically a whole avocado, some lemon, and a slice of toast, and it's like, crush it yourself. Why have you got a chef?
Is that, avocados meant to be deconstructed?
No.
No, they're meant to be all like one serving?
Oh, no. So your ice cream always comes separate to your coffee because you don't want it to melt. If it's a busy cafe, that coffee goes over and you've got a...
So that Paul Lassiter started yelling out about this deconstructed affogato business.
Yeah, no.
Maybe you shouldn't have done that.
No.
Okay.
All right. Let's get
back to the comments. So hi Stephen from Terry. Terry, we love
legend.
You, mate.
That wine was beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Which one did you get?
Travis Towson, the Chardonnay.
Ooh.
Lovely.
Oh, lovely. Was that the
Yeah, managed to pour it slow enough so the tartrates, whatever they're called.
Little wine diamonds.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those.
So is this some mole goodness? No, it wasn't. But but yeah, we will get to that. There was a mole type thing going on.
There was an incident.
There was an incident, and we'll talk about that incident. Kerry Cutter, oh my God, Laura Carter, yum. Jake, the Applewood resident forager, will be able to advise surely. Yes, absolutely. Jake was a lovely chap that used to work here.
Oh yeah.
And he still, occasionally, he's my go-to guy for foraging. We made a whole bunch of like quarantinis.
Oh yeah.
That we did as like a bit of a giveaway from our.
Yeah, that was like 1,000 odd or some ridiculous number because you like small numbers, obviously.
Yeah, that's right. And we didn't have enough vermouth. And so I called up my mate Sean Burnett at Made and I Vermouth, amazing
legend,
vermouth, and legend of the industry. And he was kind enough to be like, he's like, why don't you just fucking make your own? And I'm like, okay, cool. He gave us like a really basic recipe. He's like, you just grab this and just grab this. And it's like, I do that. I realized it was like listening to myself talk to other people about making things like gin. It's like, oh no, you just do this and just, and then we realized, oh, it also took us 4 years to figure it out as well. And so, we needed to get fresh wormwood. We needed to get fresh wormwood, and we couldn't.
Where do you get fresh wormwood from?
Well, this is. I was like, look, you know.
Wormwood, isn't that one of the major ingredients in absinthe?
Yeah, absolutely.
I had a bad experience on that when I was young, but that's a story for another day.
But so I contacted Jake, our guy, and I think he might have started, you know, the SA Mushroom Foragers page.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys that started it.
Oh, okay.
But he's like 19.
What?
Yes. He's like so young. I don't think he's 19 anymore.
He's 2021.
He's 2021 now. He's a year onwards from it. But seriously,
young kids make me feel so old.
Oh, seriously, no. He makes me feel old. The knowledge that this kid has. And next minute, he rocks up. He goes, "How much do you need?" I'm like, "Oh, look, like a bucket full." You know those they're sort of like, I think you can buy. We're going to refer to IKEA a bit. I feel. You know, you buy them at IKEA, the big red sort of laundry basket tub thingos.
Yeah.
That you used to play in as children, or I played as kids.
So I think in the food
like
industry they're called Warwicks.
Yeah, but this is a bigger
Warwick,
like a massive one. He came with that, and it was pressed down and pressed down and pressed down. Honestly, it filled almost a 200-litre vessel just purely of wormwood. Within an hour, he just rocked up here.
Here you go.
He's like, here you go. I was like, oh yeah, no, I just found a lady, knocked on her door. It's like, hey, can I? She's like, take the whole lot. Don't bloody like it. And so yeah, sure enough, we had Fiano, and we grabbed basically a whole bunch of wormwood, steeped it in that. Oh, sorry, we steeped it in like a gin base, and then we fortified the Fiano into a vermouth using the gin base, and the botanical base, and this amazing wormwood stuff. It was fantastic. Yeah, Jakey, fantastic. Love you, Jakey.
Awesome.
Hi from Milk the Cow, Andrew. Sick, awesome. Thanks for chiming in. Milk the Cow's amazing spot.
Milk the Cow.
Milk
right.
the Cow. Yeah,
I thought you said Milk the Cow, and I'm like, are we in the UK or?
Cheese Central in Melbourne. Seriously, these guys and their wine knowledge is phenomenal. They're phenomenal. They actually, it's a joy to go to, and it's like cheese on cheese on cheese on cheese. It's so good. But we should probably get to
you should probably taste some wine.
Blind tasting, yes. Spit everywhere. My mouth's watering. All right. Oh, hello. Oh, yep. Comments going down. Sorry, no. I'm just too excited. Well, this is awesome. This smells amazing. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. So you know how the game works.
I may have done it. I think this is my fourth time now.
This is the fourth time. Yeah.
Fourth, yeah. So I believe the first question is colour, but we got that when it was poured all over the table. Yeah.
And I think it's definitely easy to pick as one. Ooh, I like that finish. Ooh, that is lean. It's like bulbous and globular up front, and then it just plows through the palate, and then it just finishes really crisp.
Really
it's almost
clean
like
and sharp. And
oh man, it's like licking metal. It's so good because I do that all the time. As opposed to Windows. But,
old or New World?
There's definitely New World.
Definitely New World.
For sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's fresh, man.
Fresh?
It is fresh. I feel this is like super young, super fresh. I feel this is coming from close to home. I feel it's. Can I just jump? It's Australian.
Smash away. Let's see what you can do. Are you going to do it? Are you going to do the
power move?
You're going to do the power move?
Okay, cool. I
need to let you know I'm going to slap you if you get it wrong in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. We'll put in some sort of a fake slap.
Yeah, it's like a fake slap, or it's like a socially distant slap. It is. It's in between 18 or 19, but I feel there's a bit of barrel age on this one. I don't think it's 19, or it could be. Really, okay, 2019 Adelaide Hills Chardonnay from. Oh man, one of the small guys, BK. I think it's a BK 20. I think it's Swaby.
No,
damn it.
So close though.
So close.
Super fucking close.
Oh right.
So you had everything right apart
Oh,
from
really?
Yeah,
So I just couldn't get the producer.
it's,
Okay.
it's the right year as well, isn't it?
Yeah, right here.
Everything, like you literally put your
Oh,
balls
right.
out.
Oh, same producer as
Same
well.
producer,
Oh
yeah,
man,
yeah.
I got the producer wrong.
No. Literally, it's the one ball rather than the 12.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
God
Oh,
damn
man.
it!
How does this
Shut down.
How does this work? Oh man,
Mofo.
that is too good. This is a delicious
so,
wine.
so yummy.
Man, I'm into this in a big way. That's just fantastic. One ball Chardonnay. Thank you so much.
BK
That's,
is just such a ninja when it comes to wine.
and super unfiltered,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like really, I like
get
how
this into-
yeah, absolutely. I really like how sort of, I don't know, just confident a producer can be in putting a wine that is unfiltered, and that's like when it's backed up with flavour. When it's backed up with a wine that's just so. Did you get some of this? You got some? Oh, no,
Oh, I've got some there.
you're sitting on the lovely table beer. That. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I could drink this quite easily. There's no major effort
That is-
involved in this.
That is a phenomenal wine. Seriously, this is
This is one
yeah,
of those
wow.
wines that
Thank you
wanna
very much, BK.
introduce people
Yeah.
to natural wine too. Like, it's definitely something that you can
Oh,
play with.
so easy. Yeah, there's
This
no.
is-
How do you drink it?
Definitely a mimic everything Noah just said. Totally, like this is one of those. If you're like natural wine sucks,
Then,
drink
yeah,
this.
you have
Seriously,
no
drink this
clue,
because
no
like
clue.
it is quite amazing. It really played with like, if it wasn't for the juxtaposition between how rich and also lean it was, both in one sort of thing,
Yeah.
I would have gone Old World.
Okay.
And depending on what side, or it could have even been Margaret River.
If I hadn't spent so much time in Kaipo, I would have had more time to go get a completely different wine, but I had to raid the rack, so.
Well, no, it's actually really cool. It's actually really
Such
something.
a
There's
yummy.
something electrifying about how fresh this is. Not fresh as in young vintage.
No.
Fresh as in I don't think it's travelled very far from the source. You know,
No.
there's something
No,
that
no,
you can
I'd
start to
say
pick
not.
up on that.
Yeah.
Very very cool. Did you see the episode this week with Josh?
I did
Higgin?
too. I did.
What a baller move! What a baller move!
Dude has wait.
That is just like, yeah, I'm just counting my lucky stars with that one. The fact that I was just like, oh my god, this tastes like Penfolds. I'm like, I'm so glad.
It does help that he used to work there, doesn't
It does actually.
Because
Does
that
actually
kind
help.
of gives a nudge in the right direction.
Totally
Like
does.
you-
like it's sort of like when you see a wine with that presence, that power and whatnot, and you can very quickly whittle down a few other things, and you know, is it a true blind or even a double blind? No.
To be quite honest, I have been giving very due consideration to getting an arso. Taking like just a nasty cheap wine and putting it into a better bottle and then go.
Ooh.
Because seriously, when I
Ooh.
go out and get a wine now,
Ooh.
when I go out and get a wine, the first thing I'll be honest, I normally go to the Ed Cellars because I got a pretty good selection there.
Yep.
So I go in and I'm going up to Brendan, and these are his tells. So we need to find a way around them, which is why that time I came with the French under screw cap, you straight away thought New World, and that was the intention.
Yeah.
Because you pick up on those cues of cork or
Yeah.
screw cap, things
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
anything I can do to try and
Still got those
confuse you along
cooperative
the
wine
way.
though, which
You
I thought
did,
was
you
pretty
did,
cool
that was
move.
sweet.
Like, no, but I've royally screwed it up. Do you see last night?
Oh, I've seen you.
Anjou, yeah, absolutely. That's totally part of Brittany. It's absolutely not. It's part of Loire. It's one of the most major parts as well. And I'm like, I don't like googling it. And that was the even at whatever level, and I don't see myself as being at a high level at all. I'm like, we're trying to get an MW on. I'd love to get one of the MWs
alright.
in South Australia on because
I know
someone
you're-
like a Dave
I know-
Lemire or something like that.
I know
like
this
Wine
is where
Jedi.
you're trying to not you're not being disparaging against yourself, all of that sort of thing. But what you're doing is making everyone else who sits next to you that's not like Joshua Piggin look like absolute crap. Because you've got no idea.
No, but we've had people
so if
sit next to
you're-
me that have done really well.
But if you're crap, then where am I?
Well, you're the guy that brings the mushrooms.
Just not the really good ones.
Terry, how are the shapes, Yuko? Yes, Yuko. Did you manage to actually get your hands on some nacho cheese shapes? Get in contact with Skew Wanko for fresh wormwood. That's of course, yeah, because they make an amazing vermouth. Gabriella, thank you so much for chiming in. G'day.
Awesome.
You're a legend, so close. I was very close. I was very good party trick. It is a total party trick.
Is your mum having internet troubles?
I think, yeah, Saturday
Watching on
isn't
her
working,
phone.
watching on my phone, not all comments coming through. either get a bit of phone or get better internet. I'm not too sure I can help from Adelaide, but love you.
Surely that's got to be a slap when you see him next.
yeah, definitely.
I'll just keep that one in my pocket.
Deserving of a fair few, to be fair. Blind tasting helps. We watch. I love the descriptive conversation. I think that's the beauty of blind tasting through some wines. And in fact, we've got at the end of, I failed to the last couple of nights let you guys know, because it is kind of important. Like the day that I had off, it was kind of important to let a whole bunch of people know, so we don't have, you know, Justin, Kerry, Laura, you know, both Kerrys, you know, hitting the refresh button at 5 p.m. Which, thank you so much. It's just so humbling, because I'm sure that's how you're doing it, right? But this Saturday, we're going to be starting the show. This coming Saturday, starting the show half an hour earlier. And it will not be on Unico Zello. It will not be on Unico Zello.
Do tell.
Yeah, and this is something because I want you guys to be able to witness something that is actually really, 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 really exciting for us. We're gonna be opening some amazing wine. I can't tell you what it is, and it's all gonna be jumbled up. We're gonna be blind tasting. It's gonna be Laura and I this Saturday.
Phenomenal.
Because we're taking over Australia.com.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
absolutely
so
amazing.
We are taking over a Facebook page of 8.5 million people. And so if you are wanting to chime in to see, we're going to take you through an amazing journey across all of Australia. It won't be completely all-inclusive. There's just so much.
Not enough time.
And we've been given 45 minutes at 5 p.m. AEST, which is 4:30.
45 minutes.
45 minutes to tell the story of Australia.
Come on, Australia.com.
In 10 blind tasted wines. And we want to go everywhere, trying to go all the way up to Queensland as well. We're trying to do the whole lot. Chime into Australia.com. Make sure you like their Facebook page as well. And at 4:30 our time, 5 p.m. AEST on the East Coast, and
whenever in
1 p.m. In WA or whatever
sure
time
it's
it
in
is.
the morning
It's something like.
sure, they make good wine, but they can't get out of bed.
We'll be in between. I think they're going to be doing some really fun stuff in Uluru, and also doing some stuff with the Great Barrier Reef. And we're going to be talking wine at exactly 5 p.m. So on Australia.com, but both their Instagram and their their YouTube and their Facebook page. So
amazing.
Just in case you guys are wondering this Saturday, if we don't rock up, we're actually going to be doing all of this, but on a different page. And 10 blind tasted wines and random thing. But I can tell you, if we're going to be talking about the story of Australian wine, we're going to talk about it to 8.5 million people.
Yeah.
We're making sure that the wines that we're actually getting from those places are hyper representative and very iconic, very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think there's some amazing. If you like the blind tasting discussions thing, that's the gist.
Yeah, nice.
Is that
so
we can help
45 minutes of blind tastings.
45 minutes of rapid fire blind tastings with questions in between.
I can't wait
Laura
for Laura
and I.
to carve you up, man.
Oh, she's
going to slap.
She's
so good. So good.
Laura is the assassin, the smiling assassin. She is. She's a very good taster, quite a remarkable taster, in fact. Anyway, tell us about what you've brought here. Because you brought, we had a debacle. We had a debacle.
We had a wee debacle. So, old mate decided to harass me last night live and tell me to bring up some sort of savoury chocolate.
It wasn't a harassment, Steve.
Everything you do to me is a harassment.
Oh, you know I love you.
Tears.
You can only. It's only because we love you so much. Yes, give me the wine. It's very, very good wine.
So
actually.
yummy. Anyway, so yeah.
Thank you.
Went to Kaipo this morning. Raced home to decide to make a bolognese with cocoa powder in it as the enriching factor.
Because that was the thing. That was the
That was
challenge.
it. Oh, the challenge was to
because you
do
gave me a
savoury
challenge
chocolate
for tonight, and so I felt it was only fair.
Yeah.
And your challenge was arguably bigger than my challenge.
Wow.
And you went hard though. You cooked two different variants.
So basically what I did was I cooked two versions of bolognese from the ground up at the same time, and then at a certain point I split the two. So there would be no suggestion of cooking them differently, you know? Oh, the onions in that were more caramelized than the onions in that. The beef was cooked longer, all of that sort of thing. So made up a really super basic bolognese. I'm a huge fan of cooking and adding the flavor into the, well, I just did mince, so I didn't have time for ragu, man. I was in Kaipo this morning. There was no ragu happening. But flavor your mince, people, for the love of God.
That's what I do.
It does my head in. The amount of people who are like, oh, do you know why my bolognese doesn't taste good? It's like, yeah, because you added all your flavor in afterwards and it's hollow. Like
salt at the end.
Oh.
You're like, what are you doing?
Right,
What are you doing?
When you start frying, when you caramelize those onions and garlic, when you get that meat in, get the flavor profiles in, get your tomato paste in, get your salt in, get your pepper in, and in my case, one, get your cocoa powder in, and in the other one, don't.
And so where was the cocoa powder from?
My kitchen. Where do you think?
It wasn't old Cadbury.
Oh, there was no C word, son. No C word at all. Anyway, so
we cooked two different variants.
Controlled
experiment.
Put them into plastic containers. Popped them in the back of the car, like closed, sealed up, locked up on a non-slip mat. Came banging up Green Hill Road, and I'm like, oh, car smells like bolognese. That's so good. Maybe one of them's leaking a little bit. All right, cool. So I roll into Summertown, the first place I can stop, pop my boot, and that puppy's just flipped and sprayed. So I'm like, what am I doing? Mom! Straight to Mum's house.
Bolognese explosion. That's so good.
And then Mum's like,
so did it look like the scene out of, was it Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, kind of.
Clean up the back! He's like, comes in a bum, Mum comes out in like a dressing gown and stuff like that.
Oh God, but they tasted all right. So there is
a little bit left.
So this people was a full container, full to the brim. So,
and we've got some spoons over here as well.
Smells all right. And so for comparison, obviously the container that doesn't spill is the one that doesn't have the cocoa powder in it. Thanks for that, guys.
All right.
So this is, and you can straight away for you, I don't know if the kids can see it, colour difference is
it's a massive colour
straight
difference.
up.
Yeah, we'll, what I'll do is I'll try to have a crack at showing everyone. Because that's the chocolate one, and then if we sort of tilt that, yeah, she's quite red.
Much redder, and that's a
so it's like a lot of. Was it a lot of chocolate that you used? Like a lot of cocoa, because it's cocoa, not chocolate, right? Or is it
cocoa, no chocolate.
Okay.
So, but we can discuss using actual chocolate in a recipe. That's not a problem. But try your.
All right.
And this is kind of judgmental because I don't know if it's going to be any good. This was like really quick. I normally take hours to do this, and I just boshed it out in a few minutes.
You're not a bad cook, mate.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Maybe I should open a business and, sell that stuff. Some shit. Thank God Laura makes the wine now, hey?
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
So it's deep and rich and intense and like, you see what I mean?
That is next level.
There's no hollowness in the palate. There's nothing to fill in.
So the only difference. So how much again? How much was it? Okay.
So I bought, I can't remember, 3/4 kilo of mince, something like that.
Yep.
So a good heaped tablespoon. Now I use what's called 22-24 cocoa powder, so that's relative to the amount of fat still in the cocoa powder. So the cocoa powder I use, unlike the purple wrapper which tried to kill you with the cinnamon challenge, this stuff will actually, this has got so much fat in it, it'll start melting in your mouth.
So glad you watched last night's episode to get that reference, that was so good.
Yeah. So this is much richer. You want that deep, dark red colour. In fact, I'm embarrassed.
That is so far superior.
So different, isn't it?
Different is irrespective, it's superior.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
It's rich, it's dense, it's powerful, and I really enjoy the bitterness factor. That is almost like too sweet.
Yeah.
Sweetness from...
Now, normally in a bolognese, and because I was in a rush, I didn't think of it, normally you chuck in a little bit of sugar to balance the acidity of the tomatoes. I forgot to do that this time, so that's...
So I want to put this, because I know for those that that chimed in last night, we did like a Mother's Day cook-off. It wasn't really a cook-off, because we weren't comparing and contrasting them, we're just like, we're going to cook two of our mum's favourite recipes. Of which, by the way, Louise, you need to do that like way more often. That is just, I've had 2 whole servings of that today. It's just so good.
Can you invite me up next time?
It was so good.
It's like, there is nothing worse than
man.
seeing something like that on a TV screen, and you're just sitting there going, "Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying that, Brendan."
But yeah, that's right. No, our Richard Drake was like, we're having vintage land son.
I did like Richard's comment. If it's so hard to make, why does it only get made on special occasions? Bam.
So good. No, so Kerry Carter, mum, is my mother. She's chiming in right now. I need to ask you something because my old man chimed in.
Oh,
my old man chimed in. Controversial. Everyone goes quiet. No, to talk about like because her little thing, the twist, was a curry powder thing.
well,
And apparently it was like a family friend that had come up with this curry powder thing. Pete, mum, had come up with this curry powder thing and encouraged both mum and dad to try it. And they started trying it. And I'm genuinely wondering whether it was misheard. Like
what do you think it was supposed to be?
Cocoa powder? I do wonder if it was meant to be cocoa this entire time. And we've been raised with curry powder instead of cocoa powder.
Nothing wrong with that, though.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's like a really southern Italian, really southern, like Arabic.
So Sicilian, where they kind of
it's like
talk about the world's most invaded place on the planet.
But in terms of, so do you know much about it? Because your food knowledge, you're talking about me and wine and stuff like that, but your food knowledge is actually quite remarkable. Every time you come up with these amazing little things. What do they call them? Nitpicks? Not nitpicks?
No, they're not nitpicks.
Pickwicks? Something like that. Tidbits. Those things. See, don't even know English language, and your knowledge of the English language is fantastic.
I do love the English language. It's very tasty.
So, talk to me about the origins of bolognese. Do you know much about the origins of bolognese?
Well, basically, from what I do know, it's pretty much like all things that you feel is like from a particular country. It really only has the most barest bones in the country that it's supposedly from. So, as far as like this style of thing, I think it's more a Western interpretation.
Yes.
Because over in Italy, there's barely anyone, I believe, that does this style. They do the ragu, really slow cooked, ragu bolognese.
And typically they're like pork or rabbit or wild boar in this sort of thing. So typically like it's a pig thing. But what's that? We spoke about chocolate once coming from Italy.
Yes.
And there was that one little town called starts with an M. That makes the most fucked up chocolate I've ever.
Oh no, let's not talk that.
Yeah, but is there like a, we talk about sort of curry powder and stuff in Sicily, and we obviously naturally go towards there because there is a big Arabic influence in Sicily.
100%, they're so close, and like, although I said it in a facetious way, they are probably one of the most invaded places in the whole planet. So
Italy,
they
Greece,
are the biggest melting pot. They've had so many different cultures come through.
And it's probably the most amazing
their
architecturally as well. It's amazing.
The flavours that they've come up with are just phenomenal.
But I'm interested about cocoa.
Yes.
Because do you know much about the history of cocoa in Italy? And where like cocoa, where is the most famous, when I say cocoa in Italy, where is the most famous place?
I don't know
and does it have any sort of relation to this?
Place has got two names, Turin or...
Turin? Yeah, Torino?
Torino, yeah. So they renamed it for the Winter Olympics because good old Westerners wouldn't be able to say the original name, so...
What, Torino?
Torino, it's the same place, but it was given... I can't remember which is the first name because they both seem relatively, but it was changed for the Winter Olympics to make it easier for the...
I think I
didn't actually touch him then. It looked like
it was movie magic. But it was. I think it was like a B.
No, it was
with a B word. It was like a French word. I think wasn't it? Because isn't Torino like up north? Well, north because it's also part of where the Savoy Kings were. But no, my point. We digress. We
always digress. When do we stay on point?
But my point was like, maybe bolognese is just meant to be this way. Maybe it's meant to have. It tastes like it was meant to be this way.
It does taste like it was meant to be this way.
Incredible.
Yeah. But you get. I think this is like all of that flavour, but just done as quick as possible because that's what we do in the Western world. We don't have the time to slow cook that meat in tomatoes and stuff and give it all of the time, love and attention it needs in the oven to cook down.
Of course.
So we find a way to make it quicker and still as tasty as we can make it. Because there's a reason why what we call a sushi roll is called a California roll because it sure as hell doesn't come from Japan, does it?
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't.
No. There you go.
Similar secret to powdered milk in mashed potato. In mashed potato, I just rely on blue cheese.
Oh, dude, I think it's Jacques Pepin, that really famous chef.
Yeah.
He makes mashed potato. Oh god. Yeah, don't do this if you've got any sort of heart condition, but it's basically 50-50 potato and butter. So you mash the potato and then you fold
French.
drops of butter in until you've got like 500 grams of potato, 500 grams of butter, and then you sit down. You know those arteries have gone, but life is worth living.
So Joshua says, what wins, cocoa powder or curry powder in the bolognese? I'm going to say, I actually really like the cocoa. I'm really sort of taken with cocoa powder in a massive way. And do you use sugar in this at all?
No, so normally I would put a splash of sugar in to balance the acidity in tomatoes. But like I said, I was in a super rush today and completely forgot that one step. So in this case, I potentially would have, because this also is just made with passata. There's no tinned tomatoes or anything like that in it, and that's normally where the sugar comes in to balance the acidity of the tinned tomatoes.
Yeah, right, okay.
So, yeah.
All right, well, thank you for one.
Always.
For bringing that in.
That's what I'm here for.
That's hilarious.
I didn't see it.
So Richard's got a sign up there going, it's junk food wine tasting time. I think he's just really hungry. All this talk of food, because he's always hanging around. He's like, if I don't have truffles, I have Richard. We're about to get onto it. You don't have to wait.
Hey Richard, how you doing?
No, we got something. Oh, I've got something fun for you. I've got something fun for you. It's all for you. It's actually partly for you, but mostly for you.
Okay.
But firstly, let's grab another blind tasting wine off the back wall.
Blindy?
A little blindy, and I'm gonna empty this out. Because we are going to...
It's funny, I don't feel like a wine. I can see a couple that look tall like Riesling bottles, so I'm not going mad.
Don't want to know. Cocoa chocolate in cooking reminds me of the old movie Chocolat. Oh, cool.
Indeed, yes.
Cool. Pomme puree a la Joel Rubicon.
Yes, there we go. Thank you very much.
It is ethereal, worth working your arm off to make. Oh, is that the...
That's the,
Yeah, wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Wow.
And the way he presents it, he puts these beautiful, like, you know when you go to a really high quality gelateria, like your gelati shop, they got those beautiful patterns in the top. That's how he finishes his. Absolutely just sweet.
Well, Christina Griffiths, oh my God, do you have a director for Happy Hour now? I have an amazing human being called Noah. And he helps out with a lot of the comments and the pouring and in general as the brand coordinator for a lot of what we do. I have a lovely father-in-law who writes up notes asking for junk food. And mother-in-law is here, Laura's back at home, so it is a family affair, very much so, but it is very much bootstrapped and budget. I assure you
budget.
of that. I mean, we do invest in like lighting and stuff like that, so it's actually like quite blinding behind here. I will actually do I'll do a bit of a selfie and share with you guys what we get to look at, and so you guys can appreciate a little bit more. We'll post it up after the video for you. Even though surprisingly we're actually quite dark.
Yes,
on the resultant videos.
Yeah, that's right. You'd think with all of the light that's booming at you from...
Something to do with all the weird... All right, I'm going to put the comments down. But something to do with all the weird science behind frame rates and shutter speeds and things like that. But yeah, so while they're preparing all
Should we send the glasses over?
We're going to send the glasses
so
over.
you don't,
so the one on your left-hand side is mine, and the other one is Steven's.
You're absolutely doing my OCD as well. That spill, I just want to get a cloth and clean it up. No, it's cool, but it's...
We can just use a mushroom, just, one of these. I don't think it's going to work. Don't use the mushroom.
It didn't work.
No, just put mushroom everywhere. So tell us about, obviously, we got the roadmap this week, late last week, about the relaxing of I know Terry's watching, the relaxing of COVID-19 laws.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
So, what does it mean for you? What does it mean? Because I know for us it just means nothing.
So it's sweet FA for me as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because basically it means that at Hyde Park, where I've got space for a couple of tables outside, that's fine, I can do that.
I'll put it back for you. Philly wants to be with his friends.
Oh, flappy. Anyway, but Rundle Street, where we've got a loading zone out the front, we can't have people inside, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit of a pessimist with all of this. We know very well, time and time again, that the second wave's always worse than the first.
Yeah.
And what really worries me is as they start to relax, like this is the new normal.
Yeah.
It's hurting business like no one's business. Like no one's business. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Like everyone's business is hurting.
So I'm there. I'm a part of that. I feel the pain all the time.
Yeah.
But I worry that this is the new normal. If they go, guys, nah, man, we got to hold this for another 2-4 weeks.
Yeah.
We'd sort of all go, oh well, that's really not great, but okay.
Louise is helping out your OCD here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Get that nugget as well. Yeah, cheers. But I think if they let us out and then put us back in, if they let us out and 3 or 4 weeks go along and then they're like, guys, it's peaking again, as we're seeing in Germany.
Oh, then they're gonna lock it down again.
If they lock us down again, they're gonna get like Australian scenes of America with people walking around with like face
rifles
masks
and stuff.
Well, I don't know about rifles, but face masks and stuff going.
It's gonna go full purge.
People are, we're stir crazy, but stir crazy is the new normal. Take that stir crazy, relax it, and then put those shackles back on.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's enough flour in the world for people to make enough bread of happiness to,
It's a good call. But my sort of way of thinking it is, we saw it come out and it was like the outdoor dining thing, food, but they said no booze. And 4 square meters, and like you look at somewhere down Lee Street or Peel Street, it's like great. You have literally you can have 2 patrons out the front of your building.
have 2 legs.
yeah, exactly. You can't really sort of like pay chef wait stuff. It smells amazing, doesn't it? But it basically means this whole thing sort of happened. We ended up arriving at lockdown. It wasn't. We talk about it like it was overnight because probably we've got a lot of PTSD for this.
I think a lot of it happened over one weekend so quickly for hospitality in particular. That's why it feels
it was a strangling. It was a strangling, choking, and then now it's sort of like an unstrangling. So it's not going to go. Oh, bam, we're back here. But it's like gradually those things are going to. Hopefully, I think that's the plan. It's just I think we're all just dying to have a good old cold frothy at the freaking pub.
Oh, dude,
we're just dying.
The next door to my Rundle Street shop is there's the Exeter, the pub. Okay, it is. Dude, like honestly, I knew how bad lockdown was when they'd closed, and within 24 hours there was a homeless guy sleeping on the step. I'm just like, dude, I appreciate if I couldn't sleep in my shop, I'd be sleeping on the step, but. They not only are they like an absolute institution, but the schnitties there. They just do lunch, schnitties, but for the love of God, I am like twitching for one.
I know, we know why the dinosaurs died out. They all got served at the Exeter.
At least they don't drink Krug.
And they Krug schooners for the love of God. How cool is that? That's so Aussie good as it gets. All right.
So this is firstly red or white?
White.
I'm going to say white as well. I agree. Is it white?
It is white.
Yeah. Oh, thank God. That's always the most nerve-wracking one because if you pick that one wrong. Yeah, you're in for it. You're in trouble. Okay, so it's definitely white. Old world or new world?
Old world or new world?
I'm going old world, just because I feel like it. I don't have the scientific brain that old mate has, because obviously he's not very good at this, which means I'm absolutely crap at this. Friends, yes.
It makes amazing spaghetti bolognese with cocoa. Oh man, it's a tough one. I'm going to say old world as well.
Yeah.
It's old world.
Ooh, cool. Yeah, glad. It's tough because that could have been new world.
Austria, France, Switzerland.
Damn.
Oh, well, I didn't honestly when I heard that it was old world, I definitely didn't go France. I was thinking, I don't know why.
I was thinking
straight away
Spain.
I was thinking more towards Austria.
Yeah, I was thinking like Spain, like this was like a really, really, really textual thing. But I'm just intrigued. I'm intrigued to see how this plays out because if it's Switzerland, it's like basically if it is Switzerland, you can basically go boom, 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 boom.
Okay, and it's done.
So
Okay.
I'm intrigued because I haven't had a lot of this particular grape variety, if it is indeed this particular grape variety. So I'm just keen to see. I'm going for Switzerland. You're going for Austria.
I'd love to see the comments now because surely is Avi or Ari?
Addy is from Austria. Yeah.
So he'd be on now going, "What's wrong with you?
Oh my God, he's like, pick the right one.
Come on!
It's like 10 a.m. and he's taking the kids to school or something like that. It's like, Dad, what are you
You
doing?
can just see it's just like foot in the back. Get out of the car. They're on now and they're talking about home.
All right, so I'm saying Switzerland. You're saying Austria.
You're both wrong, it's fine.
Okay. Oh,
I'm
man.
as crap as you are.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. For the record, it would have been Chasselas if I had gone down the Swiss path, Switzerland path. And it does kind of taste a little bit like this.
But let's be honest,
let's go back
that
to
little portion there where they all sort of connect and hang out it's.
I don't. No, we got it wrong. No.
Okay.
I feel like I'm back in Loire.
I've been there. Got
Near-
family in Bordeaux though.
Seriously?
Yeah, stretchy family. You know, like family that's not actually family that's family.
Oh yeah, we're talking about this today. How there was like, you know, for like when you're catching up with sort of family, and you know you have to get used to catching up with like family events, and growing up with like, oh, you know, Auntie so and so's in town, and I'm like, I'm like 11 years old.
You wouldn't question it.
Yeah, but no. Also, I've never met this auntie so and so. Didn't end up being my auntie. Ended up being like my cousin, my father's cousin's auntie.
Yeah, I've got that on my
and you catch up with them. You're like,
yeah.
what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I got an auntie Wendy, and I have got zero clue how she fits into the family scheme of things. But I'm 99% sure there's zero blood involved.
But
but that doesn't matter. Like,
all right, so we're in France.
We are in France.
Do we have some options?
We're actually in
for sub-region?
Gamaraka, but we're drinking.
Yeah, but mentally, sensorially.
Mentally, I ain't nowhere near France, son.
Burgundy, Loire, Jura.
Well, he's going to say Loire, so I'm going to follow him on that one.
It just. I'm getting sort of flashbacks from last night about Chenin Blanc again. I'm like, you know,
Yeah, I was watching.
So wrong.
I was doing the whole YouTube music clips thing last night, so I definitely wasn't getting that sort of a flashback. Come on.
I'm sticking to my guns. I think it's Chenin, so I'm going to go Loire.
Loire?
Yeah.
You going Loire?
I'm going Loire as well, yeah.
Both wrong, it's Burgundy.
Sweet!
Damn.
So happy!
This makes a lot of people at home very happy as well. See, sometimes you just like, you don't get it.
That's because you dropped your one ball earlier, didn't you?
Yeah. That's it.
Now
That's
you're
it.
swabby.
Yeah. That's nice. Nice. So okay, we're in Berg. Are we going to do options within Berg? Or are we just gonna?
We're gonna go options for variety, which is not just one wide variety.
So is this straight? It's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's Aligote. That's why it threw me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fucking Aligote.
okay. Haven't heard of it before. Sounds like saying that it chased you down the street, but that's cool.
Yes.
It's the other white grape.
It's the
other white grape.
No, there are a couple of like there is actually a myriad of white grapes allowed inside Burgundy. These are probably the two most well-known ones. Yeah. I would be so incredibly impressed if it was any of the other like 7. But you know, and that would just be so cruel to try to blind taste because no one knows them.
Like, I kind of feel like I was giving it away already, so it's not a
But is it Aligote? It is Aligote. But yeah,
Sometimes
explains
I
a
feel
lot
like
because
the
I'm like,
way
how could it be Chardonnay and not taste like Chardonnay? Because it's not Chardonnay, but it is from Burgundy. That's actually really impressed. So there's only a handful of Aligotes that actually come into Australia.
So hang on.
And I'll be really
Let's just-
fascinated to know which one this one is.
Brakes
Actually,
on, chill. Because you're chucking out Aligote like everybody out there in the world knows what it is. And
Aligote-
guess what? People like me,
There
zero clue.
are two predominant white grape varieties. Look, the predominant grape variety, and we're talking like 95 or 90% or so is going to be Chardonnay that we all know about. Of the white varieties that are allowed inside Burgundy. There is a traditional grape variety, Aligote.
Right.
that is allowed inside Burgundy.
And it's a Burgundian grape?
Oh yes, it is as Burgundian as you can get, man. From like...
If Jesus cruised through there, he was rocking through the...
Probably did kind of rock through there and drop some Aligoté, or at least the Romans did. Yeah, no, absolutely, Aligoté.
So they were having like stubbies of Aligoté as they were walking along.
Well, it wasn't the most sort of like universally loved grape variety, but there's a few sort of what we call the terroirists, you know, people that just really care about, you know, the taste of place, and they care about the...
I think, and I can't remember if I've said this before, because I got no brain cells left, they're melted from our love of wine, but no, but one of the great, so what I'm finding by listening to a lot of these things that you talk about, these blind tastings, you come up with these grapes that we haven't heard of before.
Yeah.
Right, and you talk about them as something that in the past wasn't particularly popular because of whatever reason.
Fiana's an incredible one.
But now we've found people who do amazing things with it. And I've said this a few times recently, my auntie did this amazing thing for me one day. She cooked dinner and I'm like, I'm not eating that, I don't like it. You know, you're a kid and you're stomping your feet. Nah, not interested. She just turned around to me, calm as, and she's like, do you know what? Whenever you go somewhere different, try something you don't like, because you might not like it because the person who made it in the past didn't make it properly.
It's like Chardonnay for everyone in Australia.
Thank you. Yeah, no, but that's exactly what I mean. So
yeah, everyone's like, I don't like Chardonnay. I'm like, yeah, but you smash Chablis on the weekends with buckets of oysters.
Yeah,
it's made from Chardonnay, you idiot.
Yeah. So you get what I'm saying. It's the person's interpretation of it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. Okay, Australian chocolate is normally super sweet, leaves my teeth aching. Don't really like standard Australian chocolate. Come into my shop. Try it, and it's, I'm plugging myself. I couldn't care less.
No, I just love the fact that you're pretty much describing exactly who I was until I met you. So good.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so you've got to see other people's interpretations of things.
Yeah.
Don't assume that, like, I did this with Savvy B. I'm like, Sauvignon Blanc, are you kidding me? That shit is done. I like that. Yeah, too bad.
Wait, so, no, because I just want to know, what's our time check? What time have we got?
I've got 10 minutes left.
10 minutes left. No, because you want to talk about. I want to know why you got me to watch it. So firstly, I reckon that there's only a handful, and I'm going to take a random stab because I don't know. I only know one. I only actually know of one Aligoté that's brought in the country. It's beautiful. It tastes like this, and it could well be. So one of the most famous names in world wine is a guy called Aubert de Villaine.
Okay.
And I'll be fascinated to know, is it a white label?
Yeah, it's a white label.
Yeah, I feel this could well be Aubert de Villaine's wine because it's pristine as an Aligoté. It's so pristine. I actually thought it was a Loire Chenin. What's the vintage? I reckon 2017.
I'll go 2018.
Stephen's on the money.
2018, yeah, right.
So this is from our friends at Francobat Wine.
Oh, right. So they're bringing in Aligoté. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so Domaine Leroux.
Oh, Domaine Leroux. Fantastic. That's cheeky. That's very cheeky. It's very nice.
I reckon this retails for about 30 to 40 bucks.
Get the fuck out of town.
I'm saying.
That is yummy.
Google search.
Dude, seriously, yum.
Aligoté. If you've ever been like, if you're really curious about Burgundy and becoming a bit of what we call a Burg hound and really just kind of really getting into it, Aligoté should definitely be on your list. Don't just pigeonhole yourselves with Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, but you should be across this. Obviously, evidently more than I am. Very cool.
Terry, please
Very,
don't
very
buy it all, for the love of God, mate.
Terry's gonna rip carnage on Francobat Wine portfolio.
All of these wine companies are like, we're doing well, we're doing Terry well. It's just like...
So we got two things that we really want to consider. Firstly, because we have 9 minutes. Firstly,
did someone just say thank you, Stephen, for keeping him relevant?
I love Stephen. He's the voice of the people for the wine of the people. It's keeping us all relevant, really. But firstly, it is indeed Junk Food Wine Night every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And tonight we are reviewing what wine is going to go with the humble Kit Kat. Richard's been waiting all evening for this. I don't think anything on the table is possibly going to go with this.
I'm not.
But I would like to posit, Richard, would you like to, because my hands are covered. There we go. I just grabbed the whole lot.
So good.
It's so good. Now you confessed to me that you actually were a fan of the old Kit Kat.
I have no problem with the Kittus Catus.
The Kittus Catus, even though it's made by, who's it made by? Nestle?
Satan itself, basically. Let's be honest.
That's true.
Oh, you got water? We'll buy that up.
Didn't say anything.
I'm not saying
Don't
anything.
control
I'm not
anything.
in the industry yet.
Oh.
But it makes it taste. Did you know? Okay, here's a fun fact. Here is a fun fact that I found out recently that I believe is true, although it might not be. Who knows? It's the internet. In the wafers, the chocolate in the wafers,
Came from cats?
No, it's dead Kit Kats. So the Kit Kats that haven't worked, that have got faults, they mash them up and put them into a Kit Kat. So a Kit Kat is full of Kit Kat.
I'm alright with this. This is a reuse of resources.
So good.
It's, upcycling. Upcycling Kit Kats. This is a non-vintage Kit Kat. That is too good. Alright, so there's two things we've got to cover in 6 minutes. You asked me to go and watch Joe Rogan's
I did indeed, hell yes.
Elon Musk
Yep.
conversation that he had, which went for 2 hours, by the way.
That was the first one went for like 2.5 or 3 and Elon got stoned.
Yes, no, the first one did.
And,
Yeah,
and the
he
stock
almost
prices went down in return and he almost got kicked off his board.
Absolutely. So this one was really quite fascinating, but you didn't give me any hints. You just said, "Hey, watch this."
Yep.
So I did. So why did I watch it? I still don't know. I want to know.
Well, because think about it. How often do you get to watch a person have a conversation with another person? So Joe Rogan's really interesting because he's kind of like just a man about town who will talk the shit out of everything.
Yes.
Right? He is fascinated by everything.
Oh.
Doesn't matter what side you're on, doesn't matter what your beliefs are. If he doesn't agree with them, he'll talk to you about it, but he is just like super interested in the whole world. And he gets the most amazing guests on. He had Bernie Sanders on, for God's sake, okay?
That's pretty impressive.
That's, okay, he's
Elon Musk
probably,
is pretty impressive.
he's one of the biggest podcasters in the world. How often do you get to see a person who is in real time changing the way we look at our planet,
Yes.
right? Have a conversation. How often does that happen? You get to sit down.
I don't
and
think he has
listen.
conversations. I think he computes words and spits
Oh
out.
yeah, no shit. He's
Yeah.
he's not like you and me, and he shouldn't be, because you don't decide to build a whole fucking stream of electric cars, which are pretty amazing. You don't decide to send people to Mars, okay? Unless shit's functioning differently to the way you and me function, and you function different to most other people. So you're probably the closest to Elon Musk that I know. And I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Yeah,
but,
I'm the wine version. Right.
But seriously,
Yeah.
people, if you wanna listen to just like a fascinating conversation about what's it called, Neuralink, where they're going to be cutting out and I'm really not doing this justice.
There's an Amazon Prime series.
Oh, okay.
Actually based on this, and it's actually really good.
Okay.
It's actually really good. It's called Upload.
Oh yeah, cool. All right.
And where basically the whole concept is because every single brain thought that you have is an electrical signal, and like we can interpret every electrical signal. The only issue is that we don't know how to interpret that much of it.
That's right.
And that's what he's talking about, like putting a link inside the brain that you can literally upload, download consciousness if you want to do. You can fix most of the things that we cannot fix.
That's right. He's
are brain
talking
issues.
about.
So,
Did you hear him talk about sight? And
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
They're all
people
brain-
with massive dysphagia
Yeah.
from strokes will be
Yeah.
able to talk again.
Yeah.
Like the idea
It's
of that, and
huge. It's
that's
huge.
personal for me because my dad had a massive hemorrhagic stroke 10 years ago, and he's like
Very
in a
cool.
wheelchair, in a home, can barely understand what he's saying. So
Is you going to be able to help me tell Alagote from Chambon? So where Steve goes like. And secondly, Kit Kat, the
Kat.
match for Kit Kat. Something dusty, a dusty red. I feel it's going to be really good for this one.
Nice and sour.
I ran out of Kit Kat.
yeah, I didn't. You only get one Kit Kat and a forefinger.
You're not getting any back.
And no, I'm not asking for it.
Why would you not get a block?
Glad you
of it?
clarified that though, before I asked.
Oh,
We have found that chocolate and sourness
yeah.
actually is a
'Cause-
really
Because
amazing
as a
thing.
general rule, what you encounter most of the time with what you're pairing are overly sweet chocolates.
Yes.
You need something sharp.
Because what was the purple wrapper?
No, that
And
was the
it was the
violet
sour.
crumble, wasn't it? Oh no, it was
No,
the
it was
purple. It was
the
the
straight up-
C
straight up.
word with the
Dense.
yeah,
dense
with down the
chocolate.
rabbit hole, the creek.
Yeah, totally right.
Yep.
That was a
Little Bang. I'm pretty sure at this
a
point that is sold out.
legitimate revelation.
It was,
they
yeah,
did
really,
bring
really
some
tasty.
amazing ones up to us. So, what was the point regarding the Musk thing? I need to know. Was it literally that? It was just so fucking cool to watch.
It was
it was really cool to watch. It
was-
was really cool to watch.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's if you do go and watch it, and I hope that we don't. I mean, because yeah, we have a couple of drinks. So they had a couple of drinks.
They had a couple of drinks.
But I'm 99% confident they had.
But he
more
also
than a
explains
couple of
why he
drinks
named his
beforehand.
child the XA whatever.
X-Ash A12. X-Ash A12.
And interestingly enough, he only added in the A12. It was Grimes, his partner, that came up with the name.
Added that in. But I have to say, I couldn't understand a damn thing that Joe Rogan was saying at the end of that. There was no pauses between words. They all slurred into each other, and I was like, wow, these two. And even Elon Musk was just like, these inordinate pauses between speaking.
I know, but if you look at his last performance, the last time he was on, he has those. Part of me wants to think that he's like Jordan Peterson, where he's having a good think before he replies. Another part of me honestly knows that his brain's working like a computer, and he is just like, there we go.
Well, yeah, because he did mention about like the speed of a human brain plays the speed of a computer. And it's like absolute fact.
Yep.
Absolute fact. Computers will outstrip sentient consciousness will occur. And, absolute fact.
And it was fun listening to him explain why the window broke on the Cybertruck. Like,
yeah.
We were throwing balls at it all morning and it was fine, and then he hit the sledgehammer in the wrong place. Damn it! And he thought his mic was off.
And on that note, a couple of comments from the crowd just before we wrap up. B does this just to rev up Stephen. Yes, I do, but I also particularly knew that Richard was hungry for junk food, and I know that Kit Kat's rate really high on his junk food scale. Thanks, Steve, for the amazing desserts from Mother's Day. Love the lemon cheesecake.
Thank you.
And guys, I'll have a red port, a proper port from a Porto. Ooh, yes, with a Kit Kat.
With a Kit Kat.
A little bit dusty, I like that. A proper port, like a vintage port. VP would be really good. I'm into that.
Instagram is out.
And Instagram is out, and that means we are going to cross over to, I believe, Henry's Out of the Woods with Tom Kavanagh. Another Oka fan. I think they're going to be Okifying stuff. But guys, thank you so much, Steve. Just awesome to see
always
you. Always. Thanks for the mushrooms.
Can we actually do this for a decent length of time next time?
Yeah, we can do.
Because it feels like, and we're done.
I know. It just happened so quick.
The shit doth dribble quickly.
That is the quote of the shit doth dribble quickly. Yes. Guys, thank you so much. See you guys same time tomorrow. And keep in mind, this Saturday, Australia.com, not Unico Zello, and half an hour earlier, we'll be on there.
Awesome.
But cheers. Thanks so much, guys.